Hello again, everybody. This is Ken Allison, and this is Mostly Sports Talk. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is mostly sports. And we'll talk college football for the most part on this particular program. Now, later this week, we'll have a high school program, and that will include talk about the high schools around the Anderson, South Carolina area with one of the guys out of the Anderson Independent Mail. Now, a lot of things for us to talk about today. We are going to have a little bit of Dabo Swinney's press conference, and I'm stumbling around because I'm trying to find that press conference on all of my recordings and haven't come up with that yet. So we will be working on that. In the meantime, we're going to talk about some other things on this little program. First, we're going to talk about some standings in the Southeastern Conference and in the Atlantic Coast Conference. We'll run through some schedule situations, according to Sarragan, who has I don't know what this guy does, all these computer things that he does, and we're going to talk about maybe some strength of schedule, and that should be coming along about now because everybody's played 4 or 5 ball games. And so that's the thing that we'll be getting to in a little while also. First of all, let's take a look at the Southeastern Conference, and we'll look at the Eastern Division right now. Florida, strangely, is out front, 5-0 overall, 3-0 in the conference. Georgia is 2-1 in the conference after that devastating loss to Alabama on Saturday, and they're overall 4-1. Kentucky, surprisingly, is 4-1 overall, 2-1 in the conference. Missouri is 1-1 after, kind of a surprising win, although it was at home over South Carolina on Saturday. Both of them started rookie quarterbacks. South Carolina's 0-3 in the conference and 2-3 overall, and it doesn't get a lot easier for them. If you will look at their schedule, you'll see they have LSU coming into a very wet Columbia, South Carolina this week. And then they do have Vandy. That shouldn't be too bad, but Texas A&M kind of in there too. And that's kind of rough on the Gamecocks until they can get their quarterback situation totally settled. And then they'll be able to do some competing. Tennessee is 0-2. A lot of people are surprised at that. Thought Tennessee would be better. And that's in the conference. And they're 2-3 overall. Vandy's 0-2 and 2-3 overall. That's kind of what you can expect from the Commodores nowadays again. They got good there for a little while. Franklin was there. LSU. LSU was 2-0, and they're 4-0 overall. They got a pretty fair sophomore running back. We may talk about him a little later. Texas A&M is 2-0, and they're 5-0 overall. Mississippi 2-1 in the conference. They were more or less upset down in the swamp this past week. They're 4-1 overall. Arkansas is 1-1, 2-3 overall. Mississippi State kind of surprising the people. They're 1-2 in the conference and 3-2 overall. Auburn is 0-2 and 3-2. Now, that may be surprising a lot of those folks. So that's where they stand. Back up to Georgia. Georgia is to play Tennessee and then Missouri. So we're kind of touching with the ones right in our local area here that we kind of keep up with. Although we do have listeners to this podcast and all over the world. As a matter of fact, we have some people. And it has to be someone from this area who is interested in what's going on in this area, especially having to do with the three major schools that we like to talk about. Furman beat SC State. Coastal Carolina was a big winner again. They're ranked number 1 in the FCS division one more time. Coastal Carolina's Chanticleers, who will be moving on up to the FBS series. I think next year, only the games won't count really. It's the next year before they truly count. Now in the Atlantic Coast Conference, Clemson, 1-0, 4-0, shocked a lot of people in the football world when in a horrible rainstorm on Saturday, they defeated the number 5 or 6 team, depending on who you were listening to, by 2 points at Death Valley in Notre Dame. Florida State hanging in there like Florida State always does. They're 2-0, 4-0 overall. Syracuse is 1-0 in the league and 3-1, and some people are surprised at that. Syracuse looking a lot better than they did previously in the league. Louisville 1-1 and 2-3, and people are surprised they haven't done a little better than that, if you don't know the truth. Boston College is 0-2 in the league already, and they are 3-1 overall. NC State 0-1 in the league and 4-1 overall. Wake, well, let's go to NC State next. They're 0-1 with 4-1 overall. Wake is 0-2 and 2-3 overall. Duke 2-0 with 4-1, and they're leading right now in the Coastal Division in the Atlantic Coast Conference. NC State is 1-0. They're 4-1 overall. On North Carolina, I said state, but I meant to say North Carolina. Pitt is 1-0, 3-1, surprising a few people there. Also, Miami has not played a league game yet, but they're 3-1. Virginia they're 0-0 in the conference, but let me tell you, they have UCLA they've played, Boise State they've played, and Notre Dame, and they're 1-3. Georgia Tech is 0-2. That's Clemson's opponent this week, and they're 2-3 in the overall. Virginia Tech is 0-1 in the league and 2-3 overall. Georgia Tech and Clemson coming up here. Now, Clemson later also, their next three are going to be Georgia Tech, then Boston College, NC State, and Florida State. NC State always gives Clemson a hard time, and so does Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech gives them horrible situation and just beat them up last year. And so with that in mind, we're going to go to Dabo's press conference talking about the the Georgia Tech ball game coming up this week. So let's see if we can catch up with Dabo along about now.
I know that our governor and everybody else in our state is working hard to try to get some relief to a lot of people. Just a crazy storm, and so just want to offer our prayers to all those people out there who are struggling today. We're very fortunate and blessed to be able to do what we do and be able to come in here and talk about a football game, but hopefully we'll have some good perspective, and we can do something to help those people. Our Georgia Tech is obviously our next goal as far as what we're trying to do with our season, just trying to get the next game. That's really what we're trying to do. Our next goal for the season is win the division, so as we get back into ACC play, really the rest of the way until the last game. So we've got a lot of work to do to achieve that goal, and the only way we're going to get that done is to continue to do what we do, and that's put every ounce of what we got into each and every opponent. Clemson Georgia Tech is obviously a game that has a big history. They're always a difficult team, and as well a coach team as we play each and every year. So for us, just a critical week of preparation as we dive into these guys. Offensively, for them, they're always a challenge. For us, for our defense, they just do a great job. They've got a few different formations this year, but the big thing for us is our keys, everybody doing their job, tackling well. Same old thing when you're getting ready to play these guys. Leveraging the football. They're explosive. When you think of Georgia Tech, when you hear the word explosive, people think of, big plays down the field and things like that. These guys are explosive in a lot of ways. They've had 28 touchdowns and 12 of them 2 minutes or less. You just think about that. 12 touchdowns, 2 minutes or less. That's what they have the ability to do. So you better be very, very disciplined with your alignments, with your eyes. I mean, it's just that simple. Everybody has to do their job. That's the thing that always, kind of hold your breath when you play these guys. And then they play 4 downs. This isn't a 3-down game. defensively. You better be ready to play 4 downs. It's just what they do. They don't punt a whole lot. So a little different in that regard. Defensively, they're very experienced. I think they got 15 seniors and juniors in their 2 deep, and they kicked our butt last year. It's just that simple. We were pathetic offensively against this group last year. 2 pick sixes, and really put our defense in a bad situation in this game last year. So, and all those guys are back. 6 of their front 7 are back. I think this is a really good secondary that is well coached. They do a great job technically. They do a great job as far as route reading and breaking on things and leveraging the ball. They get their hands on balls. So it's a good group, a really good group. And so, again, for us, it's just doing what we do. I'm proud of our team. Obviously, it was we want to be 4-0. That was a goal, is to be 4-0 at this point. But 4 games don't make a season. Our goals are much bigger than that. And so, literally one day, 1 week, 1 game at a time is what we got to do. And, today's a huge day as far as our preparation. Our scout teams, just critical that we get the right looks. And, we'll do a good job getting those guys prepared this afternoon to give us the good looks. But look forward to it. It's always good to be back in the Valley. And maybe we'll have a little sunshine this weekend. Who knows? But 3:30 kick. And then the last thing I would say is once again, just, appreciation to our fans, for people who showed up and embraced the situation last weekend. It was electric, and we need that same type of enthusiasm this weekend as we take on a very tough Georgia Tech team.
You had a couple of the last game prior to this one, 4 days between games and 16 days between games. How beneficial to you guys to finally get back into your regular routine?
Well, I said that the other day is it's good to get some normalcy with our preparation. It's been a very different start. It really has. We've really only had 1 normal week, and that was getting ready for App State, and we're going on our 5th game. And so it's been a strange, start to the season. Very odd. For a lot of reasons. First of all, camp was different this year because we had a whole extra week of school. We have not had that. We played a week later. That was a very different camp for us, getting ready for Wofford. Then we had a normal week for App. Then you got, 3 days, and then you're traveling on a Wednesday to Louisville. Then you're off 16 days. And then you're playing a hurricane. It's been a strange, really strange, start to our season. We got 8 weeks, and it's great because, you just hope that we can kind of get in the rhythm, in the flow of the season. I mean, we sat at home for 2 Saturdays and watched everybody else. Just a, unique deal. But I think we managed it well. Obviously, we're 4-0, found ways to win. But hopefully we can get some rhythm. Hopefully we can get some continuity and, start, kind of, putting our Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays, in sequence here. Our best football's ahead of us. There's no question. I mean, that's probably the thing I'm most happy about is we're 4-0. But we're really, we haven't even come close to playing our best game or our best football. I'm excited about that. We gotta finish better. Our last 2 games we've had double-digit leads in the 4th quarter, and we've let people back in the game in various ways. And we gotta correct that. We got to put people away, and so hopefully we'll improve in that area as we go.
Georgia Tech their season's sort of gotten a little sideways